Good afternoon, it's me, Fitzy. Today I will be delving deep into Derry's dark history. The history I'm talking about is the Troubles. Now, I don't know much about the Troubles other than my parents grew up in it. I'm really willing to learn about the history of my city, the city I grew up in, the city I know so well, and I'm just dying to find out the history of my own city because I don't know. I'm going to bring you along with me. Without further ado, let's go into the Museum of Free Derry. Let's go. Oh shit, dropped my keys. Now, I am standing outside the Museum of Free Derry, but I meet an interesting man called Billy McVeigh, and I'll pop the pictures up of me and him together, and also a photo of him in front of his mural. He was shot 5 times, I believe, in front, just after the photo was taken. That's on the mural, on his body, and up on his shoulder as well. Now, what he did tell me as well, that there is a 5-episode documentary called Once Upon a Time in Northern Ireland, which I am going to give a watch when I get home tonight. It has a really interesting story, and I didn't even think I'd meet him today. But yeah, let's get going inside this museum. It's insane the amount of stories that come from the city. I explained that my parents are from the city, and I'm dying to learn about what my city is about and the deep history.
So basically, we focus on a 4-year time period, so from 1968 to 1972.
Awesome.
So that primarily covers the civil rights movement for Irish Catholics, internment without trial, Battle of the Bogside, and Bloody Sunday. And there's a wee video at the beginning, and it goes back to the 16th century, and it gives you a wee bit of context to everything. Right. And it's all self-guided, so you just take your time, okay?
Right, so just through that door, yeah. No worries, thank you. What a lovely lady showing me around. Now, we can't film much about some of the things that are about in this museum due to like copyright issues, but what I'll do is I'll film as much as I can. So let's see. Where do I press play?
Bloody Sunday happened on the streets outside this building. 2 of the victims died along what is now the front wall of this museum, with the others dying close by. The notion of Free Derry stayed in our hearts and minds throughout the long years of conflict, and its spirit remains today. This is a story of a community, of their ability to rise against an oppressive force, to gain dignity and equality, as well as the truth and the beginnings of justice. It is a story of tragedy, but also one of inspiration and hope. Welcome to the Museum of Free Derry.
Oh, does that scroll back? Oh, sorry. This is all the posters about the Civil Rights March on Bloody Sunday. Like, no rent rates, arrears. Don't even know what this is. And that was the actual poster for the Civil Rights March in Enniskillen. Not even Derry. Ballymurphy, Derry. This is insane. I can hear someone above me. The area known as the Bogside was originally underwater. The Foyle flowed around the island of Derry and was first settled as the river diverted. It dried out into the marshland, hence the name Bogside. The first known reference to its name came in the report of Sir Henry Dockwra, the commander of an English force who arrived in Derry in 1600. The population changes. The influx of migrants through the 18th century created a significant Catholic population in Derry because Catholics were forbidden from living within the walls. Most settled in the Bogside. The steady growth of the Catholic population was reflected in the construction in the city's first Catholic church, Long Tower, and St. Eugene's Cathedral in 1851. Unionist leaders ran the north on the basis to give something to Catholics, which was to take it away from the Protestants. Working class Protestants were urged to see equality for Catholics as a threat to their position. Catholics were virtually excluded from government jobs, while private employers were urged to employ only loyal men and women. Wow, Catholics were not great in this city. can look in the job boats. You can pause it here and have a look for yourself. These some of the, I believe they're the articles. Something else. Don't touch the grass, okay. What does this say? Election leaflets from the 1930s for Nationalist and Republic candidates. 1942, internment orders. Leather bag was made by a Republican prisoner interned in Derry jail in the 1940s. Oh my god. And this is the memorial card for it as well. For him, sorry. Wow. Civil rights was inspired by, you know, like in America and like all around the world. Like, it's insane. Now, I was in here many years ago before it was refurbed, and it was a lot different to this. A lot different to this. So, like, it's just insane. Like how much they've changed and how much funding has went into this, and it's great. I love it. I love it. Continuing on with the tour. This is Queen's University Civil Rights Association. You see hats, baton, clothing. Wow. Like, these are actual things that they wore back in the 60s, 70s when the RUC was still around, I guess. To say I'm not educated enough, and that's why I'm here today. Look, I don't even know what this is. It seems some like letters of some sort. Defense Association. Something to do with soldiers. And it was a Desmond Motors receipt for a car, I believe. Wow. Is that like a music player? Go back to my music past. Wow. Like, I'm assuming that's like a police hat, soldier, or British Army hat, like a radio. Wow. And those are some of the bullets and the gun that was used. Wow. It's a World War II gas mask used in combat by the British Army. Wow. I believe that's probably the same mask that was in that mural that we see in the bog site. I'm actually speechless. I'm actually learning about my history and like where I come from, essentially. So this is a house where the first lethal shot was fired at the Troubles in 1972. And this is another one. Screaming of how to relate to a dramatically changed situation had led to the Republican movement splitting December 1969 into the officials OIRA and the provisionals PIRA. Both groups were making ready for an armed campaign. So in 1970, there was a number of individuals killed in a premature explosion in Craigan. In 1971, we saw a steady escalation in violence. The first British soldier to die in Derry perished in a petrol bombing on the 1st of March of 1971. Like, that was the year before my father was born. Like, my parents were born in these times, so they experienced these things. My grandfather and my grandparents experienced these things. Like, this is recent history. Like, this is like recent. This is not like 200 years ago, 300 years ago. This was like maybe it was 50 years ago. 50 years ago, this was all experienced. It's just insane. This is a combat jacket. Wow. This is one of the banners that they held. Wow. So what I'm looking at now is basically a funeral of all the people from Bloody Sunday. Wow. It's genuinely, it's heartbreaking to see, like, people die, innocent people die while they were fighting for, you know, civil rights. You know,
dangerous emerging as a dominant figure in Northern Irish politics. On many occasions, he and his supporters organised counter-demonstrations, deliberately timed to coincide with civil rights marches and protests.
I'm going to put the camera down for a little while and watch these videos because I don't think I can film any of them, to be honest. So let's put the camera down for now. It was interesting to learn about the different people that are affected by Bloody Sunday. Those are the videos behind here, behind this wall, that I couldn't really show. So, yeah, clearly traumatizing for the families that are affected by this awful tragedy that happened in my city. I can't even show you, like, the photos that are on the wall. Can't even show you. Like, truly, some of these events are, like, really sad. Like, looking at some of the photos and of the people, like, who were injured or killed on that day, like, you're seeing their actual faces in the moment. Now I'm finished watching all them videos. So there's that thing in the back where it's when, like, David Cameron spoke today, you know, when he was in the Parliament thing, apologising for what the British Army did. I can't film that, obviously, because of, like, copyright issues and stuff, but I can show you everything else now. Like, it's a lot. Like, it is a lot. Like, it's weirdly emotional. I don't know how it is emotional. Like, some people may think, like, oh, it's just being a softie, but literally, I'm so taken aback about what this all is and all that happened in my own city, the city I grew up in. Like, all this history in such a short period of time. Oh, it's just insane. Like, it's insane. Like, these here, you can see, is, like, letters and, like, the masses and the list of the known dead of Bloody Sunday. Like, these here were tickets. A street pass. Yeah, like, it's like it's 1940s Germany. Like, no, like, we had to have passes to go everywhere. Like, a street pass. This is a winter flag promoter rent strike in tournament number 3. British armies issue pass to some needed to enter their own homes if they lived between army barricades. Like, you need a pass to go to your own house. What an utter god. Like, this wasn't that long ago. Like, it was not that long ago. Oh my god. As the baby girl in bandage used to stem the flow of blood after Michael Kelly was shot at the rubble barricade on Rossville Street. That's his actual... That's the actual camera that William McKinney held during Bloody Sunday. This is what it was shot on. Shirt worn by John Young. These are actual items from the day. Gerald Donaghy lies dead in the back seat of a car in a British Army base at Craigavon Bridge. He was alive when the car arrived at the base. The British Army claimed that they found nail bombs in his pockets. This is despite the fact that none of the civilians, doctors or army personnel who attended to him spotted any nail bombs, even though his clothing was so tight they would have been clearly evident. Despite the overwhelming evidence presented to both inquiries, both found that Gerald was probably carrying nail bombs when he was shot. Even though the Savile report found that he was not doing anything to justify being shot, it still claimed that all of the witnesses who stated that there were no nail bombs were simply mistaken. We believe that this was done to avoid having to place blame on anyone outside of the small group of paras the report blamed for Bloody Sunday. It is clear from all the available evidence that the nail bombs were planted on Gerald's body while it lay on the British Army base. Looks like a boxer. Oh my god, this was the handkerchief that was waved. Is that it? No, that was the over there. What you're hearing right now, Bloody Sunday, is a jacket worn by Jim Ray. There's 2 bullet holes in the back, you can see. There's 1, and there's 2. I accidentally touched the cloth. It's worn by a Knight of Malta on Bloody Sunday. Wow. This is jacket worn by Michael McDade. This jacket worn by Michael McDade on Bloody Sunday. The jagged tear below the right shoulder is the exit hole from the bullet that killed Michael. What? It's actually scary. It's so scary. This is the bullets that they fired. I didn't know all of this. Like, I genuinely didn't. I don't know if I'm missing anything. Like, this here is all of the whenever David Cameron apologised for the Troubles and for Bloody Sunday. So like, this is like people speaking, which you've seen on the video that you can hear, but I'm not meant to film that video because it's due to copyright. So I can't stay right here long. Like, so people celebrating, like that was the amount of people that was in the guilt hall. The Free Derry sign, which we saw earlier. Basically, the Troubles ended 2 years before I was born. 2 years. And to think that 20, 30 years before my birth, not that long before I was born, all of this was happening. Let's have a look around. I'm going to have one more little look around, and we'll kind of end the tour from there. I don't believe there is anything with the actual weapons that were used in Bloody Sunday. I don't believe so. But we have like the battens and like the pieces of clothing and stuff. But even at that, if it was in here, I would not be able to show you. We have finished the tour. What a tour that was. I've learned so much about my city's history. The torment that people went through, the absolute horrors that people saw. Something to take away that our city has come a long way from what it was. Our city was a war zone, and now you can walk the streets peacefully without any torment, without anybody shooting you or anything like that there. Like, you can walk the cities in peace. It just shows you how far this city has come. Wow. I can't put it into words. I really can't put it into words of what it feels to see what my city went through. It's insane to think that where I'm standing right now, that this man right here who I was speaking to earlier was shot 5 times. He was shot 5 times, right where I'm standing. And a number of people actually were shot dead also where I'm standing. But yeah, let's get going. So guys, if you're looking for a decent tour of the history of the city, this is the museum that you should go to. It's quite cheap, not too much, not breaking the bank too much, and it's a really interesting, and it shows you, goes into detail of the history of the city. Goes into a lot of detail. Yeah, Museum of Free Derry, definitely highly recommend. 10 out of 10.